After you initially set up your educator database, you may find yourself needing to make updates as educators move buildings, change roles, leave the district, or join mid-year. You have a few different options for updating your educator database. Let's dive in. In connecthub, there are two ways to update educator information. The first is manually, one educator at a time, and the other is by importing updates using a CSV file from your favorite spreadsheet app. The method you choose depends on how many educators you're updating and the type of change you need to make. Let's start by walking through how to manually update educators. Manual updates are best when you're making changes for a small number of educators. From the educator database, search for the educator you want to update, open their profile, and click Manage Educator from the top right corner. If you need to move an educator to a new building starting today, choose Edit Educator. From there, you have two options. If the educator should now be associated with an additional building, all you need to do is type the name of the new building. If the educator should fully move to the new building, remove the existing one by hovering over the name and clicking the X next to it. When you click Save, connecthub automatically sets an end date of today for the previous building and starts the new building as of today. If you need to retroactively change building dates, you'll go to Manage Educator and select Building History and adjust the building assignments and building history dates here. As a reminder, if an educator is currently active in a building, keep the end date as empty. That way it'll mark it as active. If you're updating an educator's position, name, department, or correcting their email address, you'll just go to Manage Educator and select Edit Educator. If a teacher is no longer active, you can deactivate them by selecting Manage Educator and selecting Deactivate. You'll also see the option to permanently delete an educator from here. This option should be used very carefully. Permanent deletion cannot be undone and will remove the educator and all the interactions and coaching cycles tied to them. That includes records that you created and other connecthub users on your team. Going back to the educator database, we also have some options available when you select educators using the checkboxes. If at least one educator is selected, you'll see bulk actions where you can bulk deactivate, bulk delete, and move to a different building. As a reminder, when you use move to different building, this will move the educators to their new building as the start date of today. Now let's talk about your second option, updating educators using the CSV import tool. CSV imports are best when you need to update many educators at once. connecthub's CSV import is a smart tool that compares your spreadsheet to the existing educator database. This tool will look at what has changed rather than blindly re-adding records. Once you have your spreadsheet ready and downloaded as a CSV, navigate back to your educator database and select Manage from the top right corner. Under CSV import, you'll upload your file, and be sure to choose whether or not your file has a header row. When you click Review Changes, you'll be taken to a review screen that shows exactly what changes will be made before anything is applied. From this page, you'll see 4 sections. The first are new educators that will be added. Next are any educators that are changing schools. Here you can select 2 options: sync educators' current schools and schools found in the import, or replace educators' schools with the schools found in the import. The next section is department changes, where you can see which educators will be changing departments. You'll see an option here to enable or disable the department changes based on your spreadsheet. After that section, you'll see position changes with an option to enable or disable position changes. And last, you'll see any deactivations. Deactivations are educators that are missing in your spreadsheet that exist in your database. This option is deactivated by default, so you don't accidentally deactivate educators that you don't mean to. So once you're done reviewing this section, make sure you turn it on to deactivate any educators that need to be inactive in your database. One other option you'll see in the deactivations section is to only deactivate educators in specific schools. One last thing to keep an eye on while reviewing your changes are the different pages. You'll want to make sure that these are all reviewed before you click Start Import. The CSV import tool will not create duplicate educators. As long as you're using consistent email addresses from your district system, connecthub will match educators correctly and surface only the differences. One last thing, just like manual updates, the CSV import tool also updates building history dates based on the date that the import is run. This is why it's important important to be thoughtful about when updates are made, especially if you're working with past data. If you need to make retroactive adjustments, those should be handled intentionally using the Building History Dates tool, which was covered in the previous video. Once you're done reviewing your changes, click Start Import and you'll be able to see your import history from here. You'll also receive an email once your import is complete. If you ever want to come back to this page where you can review your imports or your exports, simply go to Settings, Account, and choose View Exports and Import. Keeping the Educator database accurate is an ongoing process. Choosing the right update method and understanding how updates affect your building history will help ensure your data stays reliable as your district changes over time. If you plan to use the CSV import tool to keep your database up to date, we recommend running this at least twice a year. Those times of the year are typically winter break and then summer break before the educators and coaches come back. But many districts choose to run these monthly. And one last reminder, if your district supports SFTP to keep your database up to date, be sure to contact our support team if you're on the Pro plan. connecthub's SFTP tool allows connecthub to sync with your SIS nightly, weekly, or monthly to run these updates for you.